Oh, nice. Glad you can say it. 5 points the margin between Morris and Brabham when it comes down the overall point score. Bo Robinson and Bill Hines, Mr. Front Row, will join him there, the Road Pod Transport entry, as the expression session starts 14 laps earlier. Sean Richardson and Craig Dontis on the next row. Greg Gardner and Gavin Harlan from Arizona. Travis Milburn and Matty Brabham. Back to Robbie Gordon and Paul Morris. And the showstopper starting from the back of the field. That won't deter him. He just gets to do it twice in 2 races.
Absolutely. Now, keep in mind, folks, for those of you that hadn't been watching in the past year, you get points every time you're out on the track, whether it's a race or it's a qualifying session, and he who has the most points at the end of the weekend is crowned the champion here for this weekend for a race here in Perth. That being said, yeah, you get the points you need for qualifying well, you get the points you need for racing well and finishing up front, but then of course you get penalized for being that talented and you get pushed to the back of the pack. It is always a full inversion in Stadium Super Truck, so our faster competitors in the rear, slower competitors in the front, and as you just went through the grid, that's why you see the top stars in Super Trucks all the way in the back of the pack, except for one difference with Greg Gardner.
Gardner got put back for not having a complete truck out there yesterday in the race, and had been told to behave themselves with the limited spare parts inventory that these trucks do carry. He's been put to the rear of the field. There was talk about him going to his original grid spot, but it's gone to the back. It doesn't really matter because of the competition cautions that come up, of which there's 2 in this race. Over an extended race to 14 laps now. We've had that much fun. We'll give him 2 laps. And Bill Hines, absolute
early jump.
Start.
Early jump. I wasn't even ready for it. There's Hines up and going. Yanks a start on Robinson and Richardson right there. They go into this long sweeping turn 1. Getting into the first jump of 4 on this circuit. Hines a little squirrely right there, collects himself, gets over the jump. As you see him single file, nice and easy as we hop on board with the Speed Energy number 7 of Robbie Gordon up over this section. We're gonna be up on the 3-wheelers. This is gonna be a big torque wheelie. Those Toyo tires get the power to the ground. You see him, each one of these trucks up on 3, up on 3. That's when they're really starting to loosen up. The tires are gonna heat up. You're gonna see that inside front tire higher and higher in the air as the race goes on.
And Sean Richardson moves himself up to 2nd place now. The Positive Trailers entry. The man from the UK now lives between Australia and America in his spare time. He's right on the back of Bill Hines, who's just stacked the field up as they run down the hill towards turn number 7.
You see there's number 83 of Matty Brabham. Matty Brabham debuting in Supercar this weekend as well. That is the DeVilbiss Hawk number 83. Brabham and Creed. Creed gets to the inside there. He bumps into the back of Gordon. These guys are 2 and 3 wide going into that last turn right there. And we see Dontis, he's off in the grass right now, off into the weeds.
Oh, God!
Oh, and there goes his hood right off the bat. Dontis had a trouble keep that hood on earlier on from an accident earlier with Gardner. Now it is back off again. Big race as they bump back and forth. Him and Robinson, they swap some paint. Now Robinson's hood is starting to peel up as well. I told you it was not going to be a friendly race. We've got 4 laps, comp caution. 4 laps, comp caution. 4 laps, checkered flag.
Brabs.
It's going to be an all-out battle.
Brabs is off at the top of turn number 4. He'll drop himself to the back of the field. So the barroom brawl begins at Barbagallo Raceway, and Brabs with all the work to do. Let's check this out. Dontis did the Greg Gardner. This is exact carbon copy of what we saw from Gardner. Oh. Then his hood disappears.
Look at that. You know, possibly maybe the mechanics forgot to put the phone book in and got Dontis' seat, and he couldn't see where he was going, so he had to peel the hood off so he could see. As you see right there, the hood goes flying now. Open sights, as you see. That is the Ridge Rider, the dude. He had a wild shot right there of that hood going right over his head. And that was really wild stuff, and that's just the very beginning of, here we are, a lap forward. The hood is there. Looks like we've got Gardner back over in his favorite section of the track. He loves the off-road section. He's one of the only 2 drivers that are using that today. Both him and Dontis seem to be getting the power of the ground off in the weeds.
He's become the new Keegan Kincaid when it comes to being more time on the dirt, in the right way, of course. We look back to Travis Milburn. He said to me just before the race, I just need more seat time. I need to get a handle of these trucks. This weekend has been the turning point for his career. He's been a solid driver inside the top 5. As now he pressures Robbie Gordon.
Look at these guys just stacked right up on one another. Look at the dude taking a different line, going to the outside. Did it work for him? I don't think so. Because right now, Gavin Harlan in the Royal Purple number 55, we've seen him running really, really well this weekend. See him taking advantage and overtaking the dude. But how about Bill Hines? Bill Hines now 3 of 14 into it, still leading.
That's 2.
Another hood goes off, another bonnet goes off right there. I believe that might be Sean Richardson's bonnet goes flying. Hines, he's taking some heavy, heavy pressure from Robbie Gordon. But look at, he's not giving. He's going right up the middle of these Toyo tire rims. which means they're not going to pass him in the air if he keeps doing that. So being smart about it. He's not blocking. He's just running his line and racing.
Well, Dontus's hood has now been turned into 300 pieces on pit straight. We're on board with Paul Morris, who continues his charge through the field. He's up to 8th place now. Nowhere to go between he, Dontus, and Gavin Harlian. Up to the top of turn number 4. Expect the competition caution anytime soon, and we'll need that.
They're going to need that caution, but they're just all stacked right up on top of one another here. As you see go in, we should be seeing that caution soon. We are right now on 4, lap 4, but wild racing. These guys are so packed together. Bill Hines still out in front. We saw him lead the majority of Moto 1 this weekend, which just ended up giving way to Sheldon Green towards the end of that race. And then kind of went backwards a little bit. Look, we haven't seen this yet. Robbie going to the outside. We have not seen a passer on the outside on turn 7. But look at, there is Hines in the 57, right up the middle of that jump, saying, listen, if you're going to pass me, you're going to do it somewhere else.
Oh, no!
Saw that coming in slow motion. Dontus wasn't sure. Should he go around the ramp? Should he hit the ramp? Couldn't make the decision. Goes right up the middle. It's a 2-wheel peel off into the grass. Not too wild of a crash, but definitely you can see he was trying to decide what was going to happen, and as he goes end over end. Wild ride there for Dontus. You could almost see him going, what am I going to do? Should I hit the jump? Should I not hit the jump? And then it seemed as though right at the very end, he wasn't able to make a quick enough decision. And so the wild ride, you see him out right there. Most likely, you see him the crowd going absolutely crazy. Couldn't quite make the decision to go around the ramp, should have hit the ramp, and then obviously the talent bearing in the steering column got blown out, and he went right up the middle of it, and he went end over end there.
They're not best friends anymore, fair to say. He jumps out, so race 3 has claimed him again for his 2nd round in succession. The same thing happened in Adelaide this year, and now the Shannon's Insurance entry. Here's the replay. So as he comes through, he missed 2 wheels, and that was enough. I thought that was going to go end for end, but it stopped pretty quickly. We've remarked before about how well these trucks are built. They're very robust. This will help us. This replay, side by side with Paul Morris on the exit of the final turn. Got the first one okay, but no room for the second one. The last minute he turned back in, and that was enough. I think he knew that he wasn't going to get all 4 on the jump, but at that time, I think a violent move of yanking the wheel would not be the hot setup for him. See right there? He got on the binders a little bit, slowed it down. That did help. And luckily, the truck went over, it landed on what would be considered, the passenger side. That's not where the driver is. So you see him, he's like, I am up the creek without a paddle. You see him roll over and onto the roof there. It looks like he got out without a problem. Great guy, Craig Dontus, and he's a good driver. He's just been having some awful luck. And then he says, you know what? Good night, Perth. I'm going to call it a day. There'll be no encore.
Yeah, he's overdone with. Wild ride.
Man spends a lot of time with the Adelaide 500 event back home, and this truck's been around a lot of local businesses and shopping malls over in Adelaide in the lead up to this event. Had some great support, but now that car goes back to the pits, and a lot of work for that team to do. Just doing the Australian rounds at the moment. There was talk about him possibly doing some American races, but that might change as the year goes on. And then one of our crew guys gets the moment of glory to take the truck back into the pits.
That is...
I hope that's one of the crew guys anyway.
That is Chris Minge. Yeah, it's the most luckiest customer of the day here, driving off the truck. But that is Chris Minge, Matt Minge's actually older brother. They are with the Stunts Inc. Hot Wheel Castrol Edge team. We don't see them here this weekend, but we see that SST truck race with us in the past with Matt Minge. That is his brother Christian. He is on our rollover team as they get that truck cleared and ready. Dontus, Craig Dontus, he actually is one of the main reasons Super Trucks is in Australia. Yeah. Craig Dontus, it was a big part of that with Nathan Kaiser coming over to Long Beach years ago and bringing us along here. So here is a replay of the DeVilbiss driver, the number 83 Headstrong KMC wheel hawk truck of Matty Bradlam. He gets off, trying to hold it together, try not to make any violent moves on the steering wheel there because it could really bring the rear end around in that dirt and cause something gnarly. But they are packing them back up and getting ready to go. We got hoods and bonnets all over the track right now, maybe a little bit of dirt.
Craig's just trying to inch it across off the racing line.
Craig, he's just got to run it over just because he was bored for a minute. He's like, we got to go green here.
So just like that, it's suddenly now Gordon and Creed who could take the round win. They're tied on points at the moment, 2nd and 3rd for the overall point score of the weekend. as we go back to green with Pennsylvania's Bill Hines hoping and praying that today could be the day to score his first race win in the Speed Energy Stadium Super Trucks here in Perth.
Absolutely, Hines running so well. He showed in Moto 1 here that he had the speed to win. Now he's back out front. He's just got to stay calm, stay easy. One more comp caution coming up here midway through the race, so he's just got to be real mellow about it. How mellow can you be when you're on board here with Robbie Gordon and Sheldon Creed? You look in your rearview mirror, you see these two guys battling out. What Hines can do right now is just run his own race and hope that Creed and Gordon slow each other up with this battle.
Down to the short course section. If you can call it a shorter course, this track's small enough as it is for these guys, to the infield section and across to the right-hander, which plunges downhill. You'd love to see Bill Hines get a win because he's been on the edge so many times.
I think more starts than anyone else.
On the front row.
Bill Hines on the front row. First or second most starts out of everyone in Stadium Super Trucks. One podium 2 years ago at Parramatta at Sydney Speedway. And he's due for another one as the road pod number 57 is out in front and running really slow.
There's another rollover. It's Milburn right in front of us. So Milburn has been dispatched this time. And the True Fuel 50-to-1 ratio truck is on its side.
I think we've seen more rollovers this weekend than we have any other single weekend of racing. Now, these guys are really having trouble keeping it on all fours. As you see, I don't know exactly how that happened. It looked as though Matty Brabs may have been involved, or maybe he was just trying to dodge the problem. But we do know we got the True Fuel number 50-to-1 of Travis Milburn. He has rolled over, and it was hard to see just how wild that ride is. I'm sure we'll be getting another look at it here shortly.
That is directly...
He says he's okay, he's fine.
Yeah.
So they're going to roll it back over, and he wants to go racing. Now, in Super Trucks, unlike any other form of racing, a lot of times they're like, hey, man, I'm good. These trucks are strong. They leave the driver right in there and roll it over. Now, we mentioned yesterday, we really need to put an ad in the paper to get more people involved, and it worked.
Yeah,
it worked. I put an ad in the local Perth Times yesterday for a few more people on the rollover team, and it ended up panning out as Milburn's back on all fours and ready to rock and roll.
Christian Mingay, the busiest guy, just took one truck back in. He's back on the scene here as it just clears itself in front. All that True Fuel blowing out the exhaust pipes. And he joins the circuit.
The Cool Man being a sponsor on that truck as well. Here is a replay. Everything's looking good.
Contact maybe.
Oh, there was some contact, big contact in between Brabham and Milburn. We get a different angle of it here. You see him, Milburn in front of Brabham.
Yeah, no trying to push him.
Oh, they got hooked together.
See, he's connected to the bar at the back.
The front bumper of the DeVilbiss driver, Brabham, got hooked inside the rear bumper of Milburn. Oh, boy. Wild ride right there. So once again, I don't think that was really anyone's fault. That was racing. Their bumpers got hooked. And ended up, Brabham tried to go to the inside, got hooked to the back of Milburn, and they saw how slow they went off the ramp. So I bet you Brabham was on the brakes trying to slow the program down and get disconnected. And that was no one's fault right there. They got hooked. That's a new one. We haven't seen that in almost 5 full seasons Stadium Super Truck Racing. We haven't seen bumper on bumper hookage as the two of them got hooked together and pulled over that jump and caused for quite a wreck there. But Bill Hines, he's still happy as can be as he is out in front, running well. Yanks a start a little bit here. Hines jumping to start a little bit, nothing illegal, but able to pull a bit of a lead on Gordon. Meanwhile, in the back, we see Gardner, Brabham. They're making their way up through. Milburn, he's still hanging in there. Now, we may have another comp caution yet. It might not be over. They may pack them back up again. But we're sitting up 8 of 14 laps as we're back on board with Robbie Gordon looking back at Sheldon Creed.
Gordon to the defensive. That little right-hander where the comp caution would come out later in this race, and now he's left the door open enough. Sheldon Creed, he can sniff second place, but has to pull back, or is he? That's the quickest switchback you've ever seen, and now he's got the run to this ramp. I love watching these two race together.
Well, just what a wild battle right there. Those two are leaning on each other. Bill Hines like, oh no, don't do it. And they're going for a 2-for-1. Hines stays on the skinny pedal, keeps that truck running loud. It's a 2-for-1. Gordon and Creed battling news for everyone else. These guys are most likely going to check out. As you see back there, Creed getting them. Creed's giving the old Houdini going, now you see me, now you're going to the right, to the left, waving his magic wand, not able to make a stick as both of them sneak to the inside of Bill Hines. Hines now back in P3. You see we're back on board with Robbie Gordon. Good look right there of Creed. And here it is, going to the inside of the dude, Paul Morris. He brings her around. On board with the dude right here.
And on his
around and around.
Remember these two had a bit of a moment yesterday when the Reds come out.
Not much of a bump, but there was a bit. Was a bit of a bump there. And as the dude, you know, he's running it so hard, the thing's on the ragged edge of spinning out as it is. But then, so it didn't take much of a, I'm going to call it a love tap to bring that truck around. So, dude, not going to be overly stoked. Dude and the Wrangler may possibly get together and have some words with Richardson later on after the race is over. But right now, Sheldon Creed in the lead as he overtakes Gordon. Gordon whips it old school, big fat turn down over the Toyo Tires ramp. Gordon in second place, Creed out in front. That is bad news for Gordon and the dude points-wise for this weekend.
This is the battle for the overall round now. Creed has got it by 2 points at the moment. And you can just bet that Robbie Gordon wants that race win as they go past the pack stands here at Barbagallo Raceway. Watch the landing for the Speed Energy Toyo Tires and KMC Wheels entry. Coming down off this ramp. This will be really cool. Hold on. There we go.
As he sets it down, that was absolutely awesome. It is like an old school dirt bike turn down right there. He's whipping that truck hard, not on purpose, but able to just stay calm and stop the landing. Look at, he wants to be on the inside here. So what do? Cheat the system a little bit, get over in the dirt, and cut that turn, almost turn 5 completely off so he could get the angle he needed in turn 6 as they hit the big ski jump coming down the hill there. Now, does he have the speed to hang with Sheldon Creed? Yeah, he certainly does. Without doubt, Robbie Gordon does. But does he have what it takes to overtake him? I don't know. 2 years ago? Yeah, maybe. But the way things are now, it's tough. It looks like the white flag is out. I can see it off in the distance. The white flag is out. So 1 lap left to go. Keep in mind, folks, this is scheduled for 14 laps, including 2 count cautions or a 20-minute time period. Whatever comes first, due to the accidents we've had, we're starting to run down and do it by time. So you see right now on board, looking out the front of Robbie Gordon's number 7 Speed Energy Toyo Tire KMC wheel truck as he puts his sights on that Safecraft safety equipment, number 1 of Creed.
Push. This is enough. This is enough. This is for the round win. Robbie Gordon's thinking points as well as race wins, and Sheldon Creed is doing everything he can. He's using all those years of experience in the Speed Energy Stadium Super Trucks to hold back on the legends of world motorsport. Can he do it?
1 turn left to go. This is going to crowd.
Oh, no!
Here in Perth. Gordon up off the thing, goes into the grass completely, brings it back around, just hits the jump. And Creed tries to get him back again.
Creed gets it.
Creed gets him back and takes the overall. What a wild ride. Sometimes if you ain't cheating, you ain't winning. But Creed was able to get it back on him just by the skin of his teeth. That will give Sheldon Creed the overall.
That's up there with one of the closest finishes ever. We had one by 0.03 of a second last year in Toronto. And look at this from Gordon. The finish line is just ahead here, and it was enough by 20 or 0.2 of a second's been adjusted to now as it was just an absolute clearance sale at the final turn. Wow, what a way to finish in Perth.
Just getting by him by a bumper right there. Look at Creed all panned out over that last jump. Gavin Harlan's thinking if both of you can just screw up hard enough, I might win this thing. What a race. That puts Creed, P1, Gordon, and Harlan for your race number 3 for Moto 3. Wild stuff right there. That is some great racing for Speed Energy Stadium Super Trucks.
Incredible finish. It was on in the background as well. We were watching the front, and Sheldon Creed, lucky not to roll over the Safecraft safety equipment entry, picks up the win by 23,000ths of a second. It's been confirmed on our screens now. This will look cool. This is the side-on view coming to the end. And out of nowhere, the showstopper ends the party right there.
Just some amazing racing. Now, talk about leaning on each other. No one can lean on each other like these guys do. We've seen some wild battles in between Sheldon Creed and Robbie Gordon and other drivers, but the two of them together is just a package for, let's call it slightly controlled chaos and success all at once right there. what a finish, one of the closest finishes. Look at these guys. And you know, their buddies, and Shelton and Creed, he's been taken under Robbie Gordon's wing a couple years ago. He's been racing Dakar and all kinds of things, and look at them, they are just bros and having a good time.
Gavin Harlan in the background just watching with his phone out, taking some Instagram pics perhaps. Sheldon Creed, the second closest finish in the history, gets the job done here today in Western Australia. They promised and they delivered, and I'm sure we'll see him back in WA. Creed will get the points win for the weekend. Gordon second, Brabham in third, and Morris. So those guys stay good on the points. It should be enough for the top.